All right, let's just jump right into it. What if I told you that the most responsible financial advice you've ever gotten, the whole save your money thing, is actually making you poorer? I know, it sounds totally backward, but stick with me, because in this explainer, we're going to break down exactly why that's happening and what the real strategy for building wealth in 2025 actually looks like. So this is the core idea we're going to tackle. It's a really bold statement, and it has to be. The rules of the financial game have totally changed, and sticking to an old playbook, well, it doesn't just mean you're not getting ahead, it means you are actively, for sure, falling behind.
And this is probably what you're thinking right now, isn't it? I mean, for generations, saving was drilled into our heads as the absolute cornerstone of financial security. And you know what? For our parents and our grandparents, that was 100% true. So to get why things are so different now, we've got to take a quick look at the world they were living in.
Let's start with something I like to call the savings paradox. We're about to see why a strategy that once built incredible financial stability is now, well, failing so many of us today. This right here, this paints a picture of a completely different economic universe. We're talking a world with stable prices, you could actually get meaningful interest on your savings, and the cost of living was such that one income could often support a whole family. In that economy, saving totally worked because your money held its value. It even grew. The problem is, that is not the economy we're in today, not even close. So, what changed? Well, the main villain in this story is this invisible force that works silently, day in and day out, to just eat away at the value of your hard-earned money. And that sneaky force is called inflation. To put it super simply, inflation just means your money gets weaker over time. The number in your bank account might look the same, but what it can actually buy you, groceries, gas, a place to live, is constantly shrinking. Seriously, think of it like a hidden tax on every single dollar you've managed to save. And this slide, wow, it just lays out the trap perfectly. Let's say your savings account is feeling super generous and gives you 1% interest for a year. That sounds like a gain, right? But if inflation is chugging along at 4%, you've actually lost 3% of your purchasing power. Your money is literally worth less at the end of the year, even though the number in your account went up. It's crazy. And this treadmill is just the perfect way to think about it. Saving your money feels like you're running, right? You're putting in the effort, you're doing the right thing. But with inflation, the treadmill itself is moving backward. So you're working your tail off just to slowly lose ground. But hold on, inflation isn't the only thing going on here. There's another whole layer to this story, the game the banks are playing with your money. The system itself is actually designed to profit from your savings in a way that you don't. So here's the crucial part. Your money doesn't just sit in some vault. The second you deposit it, the bank puts that money to work. They're lending it out for mortgages, car loans, business investments, and they're earning huge returns. We're talking 5%, 10%, sometimes even more. And what do they give you for providing them with all that cash? A tiny, tiny fraction of a percent. This quote just cuts right to the chase. Banks love savers. Why? Because savers give them cheap capital. It's low-cost money that they can turn around and use to make massive profits. You're playing their game, and believe me, the rules are tilted heavily in the house's favor. Okay, so if stashing cash is a losing game, what's the alternative? This is where we get into the fundamental mindset shift. It's what separates people who build real wealth from those who just get by. It's all about moving from saving money to owning assets. So what even is an asset? It's not just money. An asset is something that works for you. It's a vehicle that's literally designed to outpace inflation and actually grow your purchasing power, instead of just letting it slowly die in a bank account. And hey, these don't have to be super complicated things. As you can see, we're talking about stuff like owning a piece of a business through stocks, owning a piece of property that brings in rent, things that can actually fight inflation. Heck, even investing in your own skills to earn more money is an asset. These are things with the potential to grow, not just sit there. I love this slide because it boils the whole idea down perfectly. Saving is playing defense. You're just trying to protect what you have, right? But in a game where inflation is constantly scoring against you, defense is not enough. Owning assets, that's playing offense. It's about actively going for growth to move your wealth forward. So how do you actually make this shift? Let's get practical here and lay out a new playbook. And this isn't about being reckless. It's about being smart and strategic. And here it is, the number one question, the biggest fear that holds people back. And you know what? It's a totally valid concern.
Investing in stocks or real estate, it definitely feels riskier than just putting cash in the bank. But we need to redefine what risk actually means in today's world. Okay, this is probably the most important thing to get. Holding cash in a savings account is not zero risk. It carries the guaranteed risk of loss from inflation. It's a slow, quiet, but absolutely certain loss. So the real choice isn't between risk and safety, it's between the potential risk that comes with growth and the certain risk that comes with standing still.
Now, here's the new playbook, and it's really key you understand I am not saying you shouldn't have any savings. Step one is absolutely crucial. You need a cash safety net, an emergency fund for stability. But once that's covered, your focus has to shift from just piling up more cash to consistently owning assets that build value over time.
And this right here shows the power of that shift perfectly. Over the long haul, a small amount of money, even just $50 a month, put to work in an asset that grows will do so much more for your wealth than a big pile of cash just sitting there, getting eaten by inflation. It's about forward momentum, not just how much you start with. Man, this quote is so powerful because it nails the core psychological trap. Savers confuse the stability of seeing that number in their bank account with actual progress. But in an economy that is always moving forward, standing still is the exact same thing as falling behind. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Take a look at your own financial strategy. Are you playing defense, just trying to hold on to what you have? Or are you playing offense, putting your money to work so that it can actually grow with you? Because the answer to that question, well, it's going to determine your financial future.